Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stream of Card Consciousness. I am Mark Ford, and as always, joined by my friend and my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith. Greg, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's always a bittersweet day for me as a Dolphins fan because usually this is the last day of the year for us. So, um, you know, I'm okay. Had a great New Year, had a good Christmas, and other than that, just kind of plugging along. We had some bad news in the family. We had a dog that we had to put down last week. Older dog, and she just wasn't doing great. So we made that decision. So it's been a little somber around my house, but other than that, everything's okay. Now,
No,
how about you, Mark? What's going on in your
yeah,
world?
sorry to hear about the dog. That's a terrible day when that happens. As
Yeah,
a multi-dog owner, I can attest to that.
right.
So, yeah, so today is sitting by the pool, beautiful day in Florida, and it's the last day of unless there's a miracle and the Bills host the AFC Championship game, the last day of Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. So, yeah.
Right, right. Who are y'all playing today?
The Jets. So it couldn't be a
Oh,
more hated opponent, and I'm
right.
sure the Bills will. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about it because they'll probably not play anybody, and it's an important game to the fans. The fans want vengeance and retribution and slash and burn on the Jets, but of course the playoffs are coming up, and the Bills are, they're going to go somewhere on the road. So I doubt that they'll really put forth too much effort in the game. So it'd be a shame if they lost the last game in the stadium to a 2-14 team or whatever the hell
Right.
it's are, But
Especially the Jets.
yeah, but the possibility is pretty real.
Yeah. Well, we're not playing Achan or Waddle today, so that should be interesting against New England in New England. So that'll be fun.
yeah.
Um, I feel your pain, man, and kudos to you for your years and years of Bills. And I'm sure it's a weird day for you with the stadium,
It
being
is a
being
weird day.
done.
We're hoping to be up there, but didn't
Right.
work out. But we did go to a whole hell of a lot of games this year, and sadly, I didn't see a lot of wins. I had a Facebook post last week about, I think 8 of the last 10 games I've gone to over the last few years, the Bills have lost, and they've only lost like, well, 9 games. So
Oh wow.
I've seen, it's unbelievable.
Stay
So the rest of
stay
the
away,
family,
Mark.
yeah, I know. So maybe today will work out where they win, and I was planning on going to the playoffs wherever they may end up, but
Well, hopefully it'll be
yeah,
Jacksonville. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
that'd be great. That'd be right up the
Yeah.
road, and we'd take that place over. We did the last time we were up there. It was pretty much 75% Bills fans. So
Right, right. Well, I hope so too. So we'll see, but I'm still picking you guys to do it this year. I know you don't have as much faith as I do, but
I have
AFC,
more than I did. I think thinking of looking at it, there has to be more. There has
yeah,
to be something more than what they've done this year because honestly, they haven't shown anything. They haven't really played one single football game that was start to finish complete without. So there has to be something more. I really believe that. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive, whereas maybe I wasn't before. But looking at the year and how things have gone, this cannot be it. They're better than they have shown, and really, if you look at the games, they have not played one single game that was start to finish just good, controlled, no nonsense. So hopefully in the playoffs that changes.
right. And one final thought on that: I think the only game that I've seen Miami play front to back was against you
No,
guys.
definitely. They smoked us from start to finish and played. That was a perfect game out of Miami that day.
Yeah, yeah. Any given Sunday, I guess, man.
Yeah, as I
So
sat there and watched that, and that was one of the losses that I was in attendance for. So,
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, man.
yeah, it's all good, man. I love going. Like I was telling some people last week. I love to go to the games, and I've never had a bad day at the game. And this goes back to like the stadium closing today after 53 years. I started going when I was like 3 years old, the old rock pile with my dad. My earliest memory is going to War Memorial Stadium up on my dad's shoulder, going up the ramp, and he had a pony keg on one shoulder and me on the other. I've told that story a few times, and
Yeah,
that's how things have changed. And then the next year, we went to the new stadium, which was Rich Stadium and I remember that. Not, I have a few games that I recall, and then obviously, I got a little bigger. I remember, but we didn't miss a game for like 35 years until I moved to Florida, and
yeah.
even
That's
then, we
crazy.
kept our season tickets, and it just became logistically impossible at that time. And now we have season tickets for a new stadium.
Nice.
So
Well, they're building it right in the same area, aren't
right
they?
across
Like,
the street, yeah.
okay.
Right across
Well,
the
I mean,
street. It's
it's
massive. So it's but as far as the game, I like if I watch on TV, I get aggravated. You try what the fuck, blah blah blah. And but at the game, I've never, like I said, I've seen 8 losses in the last 10 games that I've
yeah,
gone to, which is remarkable when the team
that's
has not.
uncanny.
And it is. It's kind of like with my claim sales. I have an uncanny. Maybe there's a black cloud or something. I don't know.
Well,
But
we were talking
yeah.
last night about that a little bit, you and I, and you're kind of going to gravitate more towards the non-sports, man. You are the
Yeah, I've
Kiss
had no
King.
problem since I switched to doing Star Wars and Kiss, and I've been having fun, and we've been having fun. I've been selling everything 100%. So
Now, what's the next frontier to conquer with that? Is there
I don't
another?
know, retirement.
Yeah, well, I mean,
All
okay, so let's assume you're not going to retire. So you
right.
Star Wars and Kiss. Is there anything else that's really high demand like that?
Mm, I mean, obviously, the modern, there's all that Pokemon nonsense and stuff, but I can't get into that. I don't like
Yeah,
it. So, I mean, it's got to be something to enjoy. I love Star Wars and I love music and rock and roll.
right.
I might try to broaden out and get some different rock cards and stuff. Because I know there's a lot of European issues. There's just stuff from like Argentina, South America, stuff like that I think would be pretty cool to get a hold of.
Heck
And,
yeah,
and for me,
Scorpions.
it's not about making money. It's about kind of, giving it to the people. And, if I can find things and I don't make money on it, I just break even. I'm fine with it. So it's hobby with me. So that's where like the enjoyment does come from. So with the
Right.
Star Wars and the Kiss, it's been great because people really when I mean the Kiss cards they go absolutely nuts. I mean they're
Yeah.
gone, forget about it. And I've
Yeah,
learned a
you
little
can't
bit
even get
about
a
it too.
ticket to the room there, man.
No, that's crazy. And
Yeah,
I
it's like
enjoy it. And
VIP.
it's only, I'm only 20. I'm not marking it up that much. Just I want them to have it. I
Right.
want them to have it. And honestly, they could go get it on eBay. But, people have told me they'd rather buy it from me because of the interaction. And then we become friends and shoot the shit. And I mean, that's what it's all about. So that's what I like about it.
Right.
I found it like with sports cards, I really didn't have that, connection when we're going to talk about things. And, I think music and culture leads people down a conversational path more so than maybe sports.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Well, I look forward to seeing what the next frontier is for you, and I'm still plugging along. People are still buying sports cards, thankfully, because I got a lot of them.
No,
So,
yeah, no, you do well at it, and
uh,
you have a lot, and I don't know. I might maybe later today just have a blowout sale to get rid of some of the stuff that I got the baseball cards and all that stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then I don't really have the time. When I get over like 10 buyers, it can be problematic. So
right.
unfortunately, with my quarter 50-cent sales, I put some good cards out there, and people want them because they're dollar card, $2 cards. They might be Emmitt Smith rookie cards for 75 cents.
Uh, you killed the market, man. I can't give those away anymore.
That'll come
And
back. That'll come back.
that's a great card too, man.
I
I don't
like
I
it.
don't
It is a
understand it.
great card.
Yeah. So you got some cards of the week, Mark?
Yeah, I got a few. First, even though I don't really sell sports cards anymore, I really enjoy collecting them still, and I'm a huge Luke Easter fan. And I had a young man from Minnesota send me this 101 Luke Easter that he made, and I just absolutely love it. That's Jim Hansen, and he's in Bloomington, Minnesota. So I am going to
That's very cool.
yeah, it's like the 51 Bowman. And on the back, he's got it's awesome. I love it. This is one of my most treasured possessions now. The fact that somebody took the time to make this for me,
Yeah.
and I choke up. But that's just that's what this show's about. That's what this is about. So thank you to Jim Hansen, and in return, I will be mailing out a 1953 Bowman color Luke Easter to him. So
Nice.
that's my
Nice.
favorite card in the world, and I will be sending him
How
what I
many
got.
copies? How many copies of that do you have now? The
53
53 ball.
Bowman, got quite a few. Varying conditions, probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So I,
You've
I
got a,
get it
a
every time.
raw
Every time I
rainbow, huh?
see it at a good price, I get it because I paid triple digits for a 5, SGC 5, and then I seen a PSA 5 came up for like 30 or $40. Remember that? Like about a month
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
I
that
got
was
that
recent.
habit, because so anytime I can get a Luke Easter at a good price, I'm gonna pick it up, and
Absolutely.
so I have but then I usually end up repurposing and sending them to other people, and I've sent a bunch of our friends Luke Easter cards, and
Yeah.
just what I like to do. And then,
Extraordinarily underrated player, by the
oh
way.
my God, I really think he should be Hall of Fame consideration. I mean, for what he did in the Negro Leagues, and then just amazing, amazing player.
Yeah, he really was. And I don't obviously I don't remember him, but I've read about him some
Yeah, he was
through
gone
you.
before. I mean, we were just little guys when he lost his life.
Yeah.
And then I've been after a oil can Boyd auto for quite a long time. So I love oil can when I was a kid.
Look
So
at
and
that
that's a beautiful
autograph.
signature. I mean, look at that freaking signature. The lefty autographs are always the best because they got that different slant to them. So I
Yeah.
love that. And that's amazing. It's an amazing auto. And I liked oil can. He was kind of a throwback, and allegedly he pitched the 1986 season high on cracks. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
about
I've heard
that.
that story numerous times. Or yeah, he'd smoke before games and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And just but you look at that auto and you think that's somebody who cares about what he's doing.
Hmm.
When he at that moment, he's taking his time. I'm sure that
Yeah.
takes,
Oh my
five, six
God.
seconds
Yeah.
at least.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's just absolutely freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the most striking autos I've ever seen. And you can tell Dennis Oil Can Boyd. You can read it.
Right, right. Well, yeah, oil can. He is a throwback, and I loved some can when I was growing up. Red Sox in '86. He was 60. I think he was 16-6 that year.
Yeah, he won 16 games. Yeah.
Yeah, he won 16 games, apparently under the influence, and just from all accounts, I actually met him twice at Chain of Lakes Park, and he was really nice. And from all accounts, he was just universally nice to everybody. So, oil can. Here's a salute to you and beautiful autograph and what else you got? I love that.
Yeah. So then, along the lines of I'm a huge Atom Bomb, Garbage Pail Kids fan, 1985, and then onward, I have a bunch of Atom Bomb. There's a series that came out a couple years ago. It's Atom Bomb through history, and like they got him at like Pompeii, and he's the reason that the volcanoes, and they have him at the launch to the moon. He's the rocket. He's the propulsion. So people, if you're into things that are pretty neat, go on eBay or whatever and search out Atom Bomb through history. And those cards are really freaking cool. They are
Yeah.
like funny, and they're funny as hell. And that's what they're meant to be. And we live in that age now where, everything's so PC and we can't be funny. And I think Atom Bomb is probably not exactly politically correct, but neither is his cousin Blasted Billy. So I picked up Blasted Billy, who is basically Blasted Billy is Atom Bomb. This is a 1985 Blasted Billy. He's significantly cheaper than Atom Bomb. So still not
So did they
but
lose the rights to Atom Bomb? So they had to
I
have a
don't know.
knockoff.
I don't know what the deal with Blasted Billy is, but so I got Blasted Billy and I have Atom Bomb, and here comes the
Nice.
sun. So, but it's pretty cool. It's a little beat up, but I got it. Full disclosure, I paid like $10 for it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's like 30,
Those
40 on the low end. So I was just wanted a copy of it.
so
So I
those
got
garbage pail kids are no joke with the price, are they?
some that was one thing that I kind of got into trying to sell, and it was just useless because there's only a few Blasted Billy, Atom Bomb. There's a couple other ones. There's like a dude in an electric chair that it just some of it's really pretty raunchy too. So, I have to
I
kind of
remember
watch.
those clearly when I was a kid. We thought they were awesome.
Oh yeah, nowadays you can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
A lot of
can't.
stuff you could get away with back then, you can't
Yeah,
do.
so as a whole, I cannot get behind Garbage Pail Kids and say that they're awesome because now that I'm not a teenager,
Right.
and I'm a teacher and an administrator, and I see things through a different lens, and we can't celebrate some of the things that
Oh
Garbage Pail.
yeah.
But last and Billy, I'm a big fan of Mr. Gorbachev tear down his wall, and I grew up in the Cold War era,
Yep.
and I love it. So because it's kind of to me that's we came through that era of the great atomic fear, and that's
I yeah, we sure did. We caught the tail end of it. I think really, we weren't around for Bay of Pigs and all that, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
it was quite a time to grow up,
yeah,
and
every year I play the rigging at the Brandenburg Gates for my
yeah,
room, and they
yeah,
love the kids get it, they dig it, man, and that's Americana, that's a tour de force.
absolutely,
So then, in
absolutely.
my last thing, real quick, cards of the week. My favorite Joe Ferguson card, 1985. There he is, hanging out in the tunnel, getting ready to go get beat. 2-14 they were that year, but I was
Looks
there.
like that looks like a perfect time for him to have a cigarette in his
Yeah,
mouth.
I thought he should have a smoke and beer in his hand. And but then, the man, this is one of my favorite Jim Kelly cards. It's a collector's edge. The Boss Squad. I don't know what year it is. It's numbered too. It's a 1994 and it's numbered 23,791, which back then was limited print run.
Oh yeah, if you
Uh,
got anything that was numbered under 100,000, you were in the chips, man.
and it's got a nice picture on the back of the red end zones, which were iconic in Buffalo. The red end zones. I'd love to get a piece of that. And there's the front. So Jim Kelly, always be my number one, my hero. And like I said a few times, fortunate enough that we had I did a lot of work for him, and we had a friendly relationship, and I got to know him. And one of the best days of my life was my birthday, my 40th birthday. I hung out with Jim. We were out tagging trees because he had a hunter's hope. He had a camp for his son who was, died of crab aid disease. And so we were putting trees in over there. And we hung out all day tagging trees at the tree farm I worked at in New York. And we spent all day together. Me and Jim. It was my birthday, June
That's
17th, and my
very
40th
cool.
birthday. And we were just hanging out, just two dads. Just now his son was gone by that time, and he had daughters, and we are just a couple of dads out shooting the shit, tagging trees, out in the country.
That would have been like me doing that with Dan Marino. That's got to
Yeah,
be like a just a grail moment for you. That's
and
really I didn't know that. That's really
we were
cool.
out there all day long, all day from like sun up to sundown, and
Wow.
it was a beautiful day. And I had the cooler in the truck, and we were driving from field to field. We had 3,000 acres, we had the
Yeah.
biggest tree farm in America, and we were driving from farm to farm and tagging trees or different ribbon labels and stuff, all that stuff. The Chinese will tell you about it, but they know about
What
that.
did you guys talk about the Bills or what did y'all
Ah,
talk
so
about?
here we go. So we spent all day together. When we get down to the end of the day, we pull back in the parking lot. We're gonna part ways, and we hung out together before, And
Yeah.
he's like, Mark, he says, I gotta ask you. I said, what, Jim? He says, you never talked once about football. I said, why ruin a perfect day, Jim? I said, we
Yeah.
were just two dads, two brothers hanging out, having a good time, talking about life. I said, why ruin a perfect day by talking about football? Because you get that all the time. I said, I was not going to bring it up because to me, it was a perfect day. And I said, this is my birthday, and this is one of the best birthdays I've ever had. And, I wasn't going to ruin it by talking about football. You get that all the time, but you had the
Yeah.
opportunity to come out here outside. Nobody give a shit who you are. We're tagging trees, we're hanging out, we're just two dads, two friends, just out talking about life and everything. Everything
Yeah.
but we didn't say one word. So that was a
What,
really cool day.
what did he say when you said that?
He's like, all right, man. And give me a hug, man.
Yeah. That's
Give me a
cool.
hug,
That's
yeah,
cool.
brother. Give me a hug. He's like 6'4",
Because
a
I'm
big
sure
guy.
you're right. I'm sure in real life, I
Mhm.
mean, he gets just hammered with stuff. And I've never been that kind of guy either. We used to wait on Ken Griffey Jr.
Mhm.
sometimes in the Mexican restaurant I worked at, and everybody would freak out. I'm just like, man, just give him his food. You don't have to go over and accost him. So I'm sure that was cool for him too. So that's a really cool story. I've
Yeah,
never
and
knew that.
then so we went down to circle back around on that. So we went to the lodge and the camp and everything. And my daughter Shasta, she she went down there. I'm like, hey, I'm going down to Jim's, and hop in the truck. All right, she didn't care we're going to see Jim. She just want to hang out with Dad.
Yeah,
So we drove down. It wasn't too far from our house. I'm not going to say where it was or anything, but it was like 10-15 minutes from the house, and so we go up and I got the combination to the lock at the gate and all that stuff. And we go up and then I'll never forget this, man. Jim comes walking up the driveway, you know, and he's just like getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Cause he like huge. People don't realize how big that
yeah.
is. He's like
He's a
six
big
four. Yeah,
dude,
he's like Josh Allen size, but not with the weight,
right?
And my daughter, is like, she's not a huge fan, but she knows what the Bills mean to me and all that stuff. And everybody knows, if you're not a huge football fan, at this point in time, you know what freaking Jim Kelly is.
Right.
And I said, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" And my daughter's like looking at him. Oh my God, it's freaking Jim Kelly. And we were shooting this shit a little bit about what he wanted done with the trees and everything. He's like, "Hey, you want to come on inside?" And a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, what's up? So my God, again, you know, freaking Jim Kelly. Here I am with my daughter, right? She was probably 15, 16 at the time. Jim Kelly's at this place, and he's showing me everything. Hey, there's this and this game ball and this thing and this and that, and you see this and that, and like 2 hours, like just
Wow.
da, 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 da. Like, and my daughter's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So she looked at me now, like, so it was really cool, and I was really grateful. Jim gave me that moment where like my kid looked at me like, wow, my
Yeah.
dad. Like. This is my
Well,
dad. He's like, and it was really cool, and I was forever grateful. And I'm sure Jim will never see the show, or we've been a long time since we've ever hung out or done anything. But I'm so grateful. I can't thank him enough. I mean,
yeah, that's really cool. We just
yeah,
keep talking about this, but so I mean, that's the equivalent. I mean, and people know this. That's the equivalent of Marino in Miami. There's Jim
right,
Kelly in Buffalo, and wow,
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
blown away, man. That's really. Now, do you want to get into what you got? Your
oh,
keepsakes?
I'll close up with that. Yeah,
Yeah, beautiful stories about Jim Kelly. How's he
and then
doing nowadays? By the
one
way,
more about Jim.
how's
So
Jim
with the
doing
stadium,
nowadays?
so we're at the we had this will get to what's going on. So.
All right,
The next parts. Section 129, row 21, seat 3, seat 4. Bills come out where they come out of the tunnel, right on the end zone, the goal line. So Jim comes out because Jim goes a lot of games. So oh man, it's Jim. So I'm like, Dad, come on, Dad. I'm like, let's go say hi to Jim. My dad's like, really? He's like, I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, let's go say hi to Jim. I'm like, Jim, brother. He's like, hey, he comes over to the wall, right? So now I'm shooting this shit with Jim, and all these people are, welcome, trying to give him sign stuff and this and that. And no. He's talking to me. Again, there's a couple of dads, right? And my dad. I'm like, hey, Jim, this is my dad. And so then he's like, hey, I'm having a party. Come, and would have a big tent like in this one area in the parking lot, and come on by, bring your dad, and my dad. It was just like it was crazy. So my
wow,
dad now, okay. So I look at my dad in my life like it's my dad.
yeah,
My dad's looking at me like, whoa,
right, right,
it was
yeah.
crazy.
That's something else, man.
So the kicker on that, once the Bills are eliminated from the playoffs or go to the Super Bowl, there is an outside chance they could host the AFC Championship game. They're going to start tearing that stadium down. And 53 years, it was, I sat in seat 3. My dad sat in seat 4. I never sat in seat 4. And then my dad, he slowed down. Thank God my dad's still alive, but he couldn't go all the time. And then my kids would go, my brother-in-law would go. And you sit in seat 4, I sit in seat 3. You know, and my
Yeah,
kids knew that. So I always sat in 3, dad sat in 4, and then once he couldn't go all the time, whoever went with me would sit in seat 4. So
right.
for Christmas, and then I'll put a picture of this up in the show when I edit it, you know, turned me into a ball and mess because my kids, they got me those seats.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you
So
announced
can't
that on
see,
the.
hard to talk about. So I open it up. Then there's a picture of me and my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's that's pretty amazing, man.
that's it.
That's pretty amazing.
I don't mind showing emotion about it because,
Well, that's a yeah. I mean, what else do you say? That's probably one of the coolest gifts you could have gotten. So
so in
kudos to
March,
your
those
kid.
seats will be coming here. So I'll
Yeah,
be sitting in them, and when I
you're gonna
watch
have
the
to do a
games,
show sitting in one of them.
I will. I will. So, anyways, section 129, row 21, seat 3 and 4 are coming here, and I
Well,
can't thank my kids enough. And so here's to you,
I'm not
Highmark
gonna lie.
Stadium. Right,
I'm not
here's
gonna
to you,
lie.
Highmark.
I am really pulling for Buffalo this year, man. I really I would love Miami for all their mediocrity and 40 years of nothing, we still got 2 titles, and you guys don't have any. So I'm really hoping you guys get one this year. I hope, and the AFC is wide open. So if you're going to do it, you need to do it now. So I'm pulling for you, man. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry to get you so choked up, but
No, it's all right.
this has been
It's just
cool to talk about.
no,
This,
this is a day, man. I mean that when I
yeah,
went last week, I turned around and I just looked at it for a while. Like I'm never gonna come here again.
right,
It's never gonna
right.
be like this. I'm never gonna come here again. I'm never gonna have another moment here with my wife, my kids, my dad, my buddies. Kirk Lorkowski has been my partner. You know, brother Kirk, he's been my partner through since we were 7 years old. I used to get in
Yeah,
fights on the school bus about the Bills because
right.
they sucked, and that was my team. So, and everything's
Yeah.
going to change. It's going to be different across the street. The whole thing, everything changes. Everything's
It's
going
just
to
going to
change.
feel more, it's going to feel more corporate, isn't it?
Yeah, everything that we know is going to change, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be the same. And I
Well,
know they needed a new stadium. I mean, the place is falling apart. It sucks. I get it, but it'll be different. So I hope
well,
that they can win this year and get that. And it was supposed to be, AFC Championship in Buffalo, and it didn't work out. So, at least be able to raise a banner across the street, and you
right,
know, that'll be something
right.
else.
Well,
But you want
I
to see
don't
me
have a,
cry, man. We never won a freaking Super Bowl.
yeah, it's going to be a party. It'll be like me when the Red Sox won.
Oh, me
Uh,
too, man. I felt the same way, but I didn't live in Boston. I wasn't.
yeah,
So for me, it was Buffalo. That was the thing.
that'd be
So
a lifelong
R.I.P.
moment.
Hallmark Stadium, and I love you, and I'm gonna have a piece of that for the rest of my life, and
That's
that'll be
great.
with me forever. Those seats I sat with my dad.
That's I don't know. There's nothing else to say, man. That's a perfect gift. Well, I've got uh, uh, bring us back down to earth. I've got a. I just realized I had this. This is pretty cool. It's a Greg Smith auto.
Oh, all
It's
right.
not nearly as cool as the oil can Boyd auto, but
Yeah.
Greg Smith, he's pitcher for the A's. So, and then I've just got some random autos I've been looking through. Some Bill Madlock. I've been
Oh,
kind
he's
of
got a
getting.
great signature. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not too bad. Bill Madlock.
No.
So I've been trying to get some more autos, and then Paul Molitor. I think I got that from you.
Paul
Paul
Malter. Yeah.
Maldonado. So I don't,
Yeah.
just some little things. And I'm always on my quest for new Yastrzemski. So I got a 1963 peel offs
That's cool.
2.5. Yeah, I'd never seen that before. So now I
No.
have that. And then the Fleer Star stickers. So those were always cool when I was growing up. You got the regular packs and there was always a sticker in them. So,
Yeah, it looks nice in that SGC.
yeah, it really does with the blue with the black. I think that's pretty cool. So, I don't know. I'm good on ending the show with you. That was amazing to hear, man. And I'm really hoping again as a Miami fan, and I've told you this since I met you. I've never had the same animosity towards Buffalo as I have towards New England and the Jets, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's because my mom was born in Rochester, and there's some history there.
Yeah.
Subliminally, I don't hate them as much, and if we can't do it, I hope that you guys do this year. I really do. And I'll be pulling for y'all and watching your
Yeah.
games.
I've
So,
said a bunch of times, that if you ever get the chance, go to Buffalo. People,
yeah.
people to watch the show, please go to Buffalo and you'll understand.
Yeah. I've heard from people that I know down here that are Bills fans.
And it's
I
not
worked
just
with a
right.
I
It's not
worked with a
just the
guy,
football.
Rick, who used to go to the War Memorial. And he just used to tell me about just stories about them just walking to the games, going through old neighborhoods and
Yeah, they
stuff.
would park at people's front yards and you pay
Yeah.
somebody to keep an eye on it so they wouldn't steal it.
Right. Yeah. He told me those kind of stories and just, there's a lot of rich history in Buffalo with football. And, that's a town, not to put it the wrong way, but you've got Niagara Falls, you've got the Bills, and you've got Buffalo. I mean,
All right.
there's not a lot else going
Name
on,
much
it doesn't
there,
seem like.
but the
Yeah.
people, let's say beyond sports, the people are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Give you the shirt off their back. They'll bring you home. There's a blizzard up there when we were up there, and a little storm. But people couldn't fly out, and people open up their homes to strangers. You need a place to stay. Hey, come on in. When
Right.
it's unbelievable. The people in Buffalo are remarkable. And
Yeah. Well,
so
go Bills.
go
I'm on the
Bills,
Bills train.
and
The Lions and the Dolphins aren't in, so
right
Buffalo,
on.
Buffalo or bust.
And thank you, Rich Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium, Bills Stadium, Hallmark Stadium. Thank you so much for being such a part of my life. And I'll be across the street next year, but you know what? I'll be looking back across the street and remembering what is going to be a parking lot.
Right, right. Well, on that note, I'm going to go watch some football and
All
kind of
right.
enjoy the Sunday. And do you have anything else you want to add,
No,
Mark?
thank you, everybody. And God bless. And we will catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.